whispers turned to echoes, and the echoes turned to lies. The whispers turned to echoes, and the echoes turned to lies.
They sold us easy comfort and a blindfold for our eye. Said to trust the hand that feeds you. Don't you dare to ask it why. But hunger for the real thing
is a fire you can't deny.
Yeah, the ground is starting to shake now. Can you feel it in your bones? We will not be fools again. We will rise up from the dust, searching for the truth and justice, forging unity from trust.
Every color, every creed now, tired of a great divide. We're looking for the facts, not fiction, with our conscience as our guide. They built their thrones on silence, but the quiet's over now.
We will not be fools again. We will rise up from the dust, searching for the truth and justice, forging unity from trust.
Let them hear the voices, a million strong and clear. The age of make-believe is over. The reckoning is here. We will not be fools. We will rise for justice and for truth. We will not be fools.
Brian is innocent. Brian has been essentially convicted in the media. He has a right to have this information withheld, brought out in public, so that people can see it's not this neat little package. So people can start to wonder if Brian's innocent. Your Honor, Brian is innocent. So if I talk about things that are in the affidavit, and if I talk about things that we're seeking that the state wants to hide, I think that's fair game for the public to hear.
Fair game for the public to hear. Good evening, everybody, you beautiful people out there. in space, in the internet space, I will tell you happy Monday. I hope you all had a great Easter weekend with your families, with your friends, coworkers, whatever you decided to do. And praise God that Christ had risen from the dead to save all of us. I truly believe. Now, I know we have a lot of believers in here, and I respect if you don't believe. That is your free will. But I will say, who else could have risen in the Idaho 4 case? It's going to be a shocker. Either he's in the basement or he's at work. Those two comments in the Idaho 4 case have rocked me for about a month and a half, 2 months. And I have been hyper focused on finding why Ethan was left out of so much in the Idaho 4 case. He wasn't mentioned at any of the memorials. They do have a GoFundMe and a foundation for Ethan. And, most of the families did. But we're going to do an alternate reality based on public information that's on the internet and how I got to it. I'm going to show you a deep dive. And I really want you to keep an open mind, because here at Phoenix Talks, I'm your host, Phoenix. We are here to find the truth. And honestly, if you're trolling, keep scrolling. My mods will figure out who you are. You will be banned. Just be a silent troll. Those are the best. And if you don't like it, leave. I just ask you just to please leave. And if you like it, swipe down, hit the thumbs up, come back in. I'm going to have a lot of heavy content for you today. Keep an open mind. This is all speculation. We are not here to accuse, slander, defame, harm anybody, but the public information is out there on the internet, so we can definitely talk and speculate and theorize whatever we want. I'm going to ask you one thing. I'm going to ask you a question, and then I'm going to welcome you in. What if Ethan Chapin walked away from the atrocity, or ran away from 1122 King Road? Would you believe me if I showed you proof? Think about that for a second. Thank you, Marissa, for that super chat. I am working hard over here. And we all know for a fact, other creators watch me, take my work, run with it. And I am a very small stream compared to some of the people that have been growing nonstop, which I suspect bots. How did somebody grow to 40K overnight when they had 15,000 subscribers? Blows my mind. It blows my mind. So I know that I am the one that's speaking out, that's giving you all the details. Some people are like, oh, now they put it together. I'm going to bring it to you. I'm not afraid. I know I'm protected, and I know who I serve. Thank you for all the super stickers, all the donations. You guys have blown my socks away. Well, I was spending time with my family at Easter, and I know you guys were spending time with yours. I really tried to stay away from the Idaho 4 case and really focus on what I need to share. And it came to me last night. It's time to put this out there. I've been working on it a while. And I love you guys. You are like my family here. It's tight, close-knit. And I mean, look at this picture of the Chapin family. I've had 4 children. One daughter is 13, 14 months apart from my other daughter. One is 5 years older, and the other is 6 years older. So I've got a caboose and a crazy type of situation. But this is a public picture on the internet. People have asked me to scrub the kid's face. This was already publicly released by the family. On the left, you see Hunter and Maisie Chapin. They look the same age. And then you have Ethan that does not look the age of Maisie and Chapin and Hunter. And I always wondered why. They kept sharing younger pictures of Ethan to make him fit in, guys. That is the only conclusion that I have come up with. Now, I'm going to go ahead and welcome every single one of you in. Drop your thoughts below to that bombshell that I just gave you. Munson, welcome back. Good to see you. Nora, Patty, OG's in the house. Multiples Mama, Rebecca, Lola Garcia, Donna Rosa, Misinformation. I love it. Caleb, good to see you. Gypsy, you've been a member for 3 months. Thank you so very much. Good to see you all. True to it. Welcome in. Patty, I love seeing you here again. Christine, good to see you. Hello, Sarah. Show me proof. Okay, I'm going to show you proof. I love this song. I absolutely love this song. When I sat down to write it, I wanted to be very transparent. I wanted April to bring us truth. And I want the Idaho 3 to get justice. Now it makes sense. That is why the Gonzalez family had the Idaho 4, but only had 3 of the girls listed. Now it makes sense. Holy from holies. Nora, Lay, welcome in. Oh my gosh. Now it makes freaking sense. Now is the time this stream is going to blow the frick up, because I'm telling you, people are going to start saying, what? Yes. Happy belated birthday. Happy belated birthday, Easter. I mean, what a time to be alive, guys. What a beautiful time to be alive. I'll tell you, it is amazing. Hell yes, I believe you. I know you guys that are my faithful followers, subscribers, friends. Uh, you guys know. You guys know that I know. Show me proof and I'll believe it. All right? You want proof? I'm going to give you so much proof that you're going to be like, how did she figure this out? Because I'm going to do a walkthrough step by step. When searching for the Chapin family, when you look up Stacy, these 2 kids with different similar names. Interesting. The naked man Bethany saw. Maybe. I mean, that's a possibility. That's a great possibility. We don't know if that naked man running away is true or not. I don't know if he was naked, guys. I don't know. He's significantly bigger. Yes. I love you right back, guys. I love you so much. Ethan had a different colored jacket. Yeah, why would they? Twins all usually have the same. Guys, what I'm going to tell you makes sense. You're going to have to start seeing it. Hindsight's 2020. You may not seen it now, but you know. What if Ethan is just like brain dead in the hospital? Possible. He could have been the one injured and slowly regaining. We don't know. Okay. Also, allegedly Ethan was found outside and possibly the reason for the ambulance. And I told you, right next to the truck, right next to the Ford Explorer that we've talked about in great detail the other day and what I saw beside it. I always thought he was older. Yeah, me too, guys. I mean, if you have kids, you know that you know that you know. So let's get into this. I'm going to show you a video. Then we're going to really get down to business, okay? So if you have stragglers or friends that are coming in, it makes sense. It's going to make sense. It's going to make sense. Trust me. You know, I'm going to tell you a story of trust me real quick before we get into that. They always say the twins. Yep. He was in the basement or he was at work. When they went to go get their driver's license, what did they say? He was at work. He was at work. Okay. I couldn't find anything close to the University of Idaho that would have been rented under the mother or father's names during that time. Well, Sarah, I'm going to show you how I found this. I always work backwards. We always thought Kaylee, but Ethan makes more sense in how they acted. Oh, true. What if somebody was there to protect? What if Ethan was there to protect Xana? And what if Kaylee was there to protect Madison? What if there were more people that were protective custody, CIs, agencies? Who knows? Who knows? Okay. His father said all they have to go do is downstairs and talk to him. Really? Yeah. Maybe that's the case. Why the family isolating Ethan? Well, I don't know. Maybe there was some nefarious things happening. I don't know. But let's get into this and we can speculate. We can share all we want. I think we have cracked the code. We have cracked the code over here. at Phoenix Talks. You guys are freaking amazing. Open-minded, searching for truth souls. Let's watch the video and we'll get into it.
Families of the 4 University of Idaho students who were killed last fall cope with this unimaginable grief. They are also finding touching ways.
Hold on, let me put this a little bit bigger. Here we go.
4 University of Idaho students who were killed last fall cope with this unimaginable grief. They are also finding touching ways to remember and honor their loved ones. We're going to talk to Ethan Chapin's mom, Stacy. But first, a closer look at the case and their tributes. More than 6 months have passed since the murders at King Road, when Ethan Chapin, his girlfriend Xana Kernodle, and best friends Madison Mogan and Kaylee Gonsalves were found stabbed to death in this house near the University of Idaho campus. A tense manhunt and weeks of painful waiting for the victims' families followed before police arrested their suspect in late December. Brian Kohberger was pursuing his PhD in criminal justice at Washington State University, just miles from the scene of the murders. Investigators say DNA evidence, cell phone records, and video surveillance link him to the scene that night. Kohberger's trial is set for October, the judge entering a plea of not guilty for the 4 murders after Kohberger declined to enter one himself. Ethan Chapin's family has watched from afar while holding close their memories of a beloved son and brother.
He loved everybody and everybody loved him. Everybody wanted to be around him.
Ethan's parents, Stacy and Jim Chapin, are honoring him through a foundation named Ethan's Smile. It gives scholarships to local students to attend the University of Idaho.
That kid has touched more lives. We say in our family, if we touch as many lives as he did in his 20 years, this world would be a better place.
Ethan was a triplet. His 2 siblings still attend the university.
Y'all drop a comment below. Does Ethan look like a triplet or does he look older? And remember this picture right here. Remember the picture of the kids. Look how much older Ethan is. And then let's look back at this picture with Ethan. Yes, he does look older to me. He does. Now that I'm pointing it out, now that you see it, now you cannot unsee it.
This May, graduation ceremonies were bittersweet as the school awarded Ethan a posthumous certificate. And now, Stacy Chapin has written a children's book about Ethan called The Boy Who Wore Blue. A portion of the profits will also go to the foundation, Ethan's Smile. Okay. And Stacy Chapin joins us now. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
It's hard to watch those images of your beloved boy.
And yes,
how are you doing?
This is Savannah interviewing her.
Hard.
Yeah, it is.
It's good though. I mean, all things considered, we're doing very well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was a triplet. He has a brother and sister. How are they doing?
Jim and I couldn't be more proud of them. To be honest with you, they successfully this semester, and now they're back at work in a place that they love, and we've called summer.
Now, look at this picture they just showed.
And now they're back at work.
Look at this picture. Does Ethan look like a twin or older? Does Ethan look like a twin or older? Drop it below.
In a place that they love, and we've called summer home for a long time. So they're in a safe, great environment, and they're doing
Another
amazing.
picture. Does Ethan look older or like a twin? They're not triplets. They're not triplets. Maisie and Hunter are twins. Ethan is older, and I'm going to prove it to you. I've got all the receipts.
I'm so proud of them.
Is he a twin or triplets? Think about what we've been told.
People are about to find out what an extraordinary family you have,
Yeah.
Stacy.
Mm-hmm.
And
Ethan older to the twins.
What an extraordinary boy Ethan was. You've written this book. It's called The Boy Who Wore Blue. Yes. Tell me about writing it and what made you decide to write this story?
It started with my best friend sent me a news release that was that an author had been given the rights to the story to tell of these kids. And I, as a mom, you're like, well, how does somebody write a story about people that they don't know, right? Right, about my kid. Yeah, I'm the one who's raised him, Gemini, and it just
Raised him, but not birthed him?
sparked something in me. And
Why would she say Jim and I are the one that raised him?
only thing I can explain to people how it's like a country artist who goes through a breakup and writes their greatest hit. It literally just came to me in the middle of the night.
It's Ethan's song.
It's everything. Yeah, it's the best I can do for him.
I love The Boy Who Wore Blue. You had triplets, and you learn in the book that when they were little, they used to each wear a color.
They did.
And that's how you told them apart when they were babies. And he was the one who wore blue.
He was the blue.
He was a very special young man. Everybody says it. Tell me about it.
Yeah. He was that way from the very beginning, to be honest. He was born happy.
And now they're showing the younger pictures of Ethan.
He was just magnanimous, kind of. I don't know really how to explain it. What we find more interesting is how many lives he touched that we didn't even know existed. It's incredible. I mean, I tell people if I touch as many lives in my lifetime as he did in 20 years, he just
Stories now, people are calling you and saying, I remember when Ethan did this or that.
Yes, or strangers.
Yeah.
The strangers have been amazing who have come up to us, and it always started the same way. You don't know me, but I have this story to tell you. Yeah.
What does that do for you? Is it comforting? Is it hard to kind of share your grief with this high-profile story and it's so public?
We learned our family has always tried to help everybody, and we came upon the Sigma Chi boys the morning after, and in that moment we realized that not only that it wasn't just our family healed one way, but everybody needed to heal from this, and we saw it in an instant, kind of seeing all of his friends, and it's just gone from there. It's literally we've been reached by people across the world. And it just, we can see that everybody needs to heal from it, and it feels good.
You have extraordinary strength.
Yeah.
You and your husband seem to have this resolve. You say, if people want to talk to you about it, it's okay to talk about.
Yes.
It's not the elephant in the room.
Yes.
You want to talk about Ethan.
Yes.
Where does that come from, that strength, when you're dealing with the unimaginable?
We just decided that, it has its moments, of course, right? But we get up every morning.
Notice the younger picture she's sharing.
Decided that the best thing we could is put our best foot forward.
Younger pictures.
Izzy and Hunter, they deserve it. They didn't deserve this, and so they deserve still the best life that we can give them, and that is really our strength. It drives us. So we literally get up and.
You wrote, it was on social media earlier this year, you said, we spend no time being angry. That would be energy not well spent.
Yep.
And it still wouldn't change the outcome.
Yep.
We have to look ahead.
Yes.
That's your philosophy.
Yes. It doesn't change the outcome. Even looking ahead at the trial coming up in October now, we choose to not, it does not change the outcome of our family, and it's energy that we need to put into healing our kids and, getting back to a new family dynamic and working on it. And so we let the prosecutors do their job, and we do our job in our family.
Do you think you'll come to the trial and attend it?
No.
Yeah. Too hard.
It doesn't change the outcome. Yeah. It just is energy that doesn't feel like it's well spent. Yeah. There's other places to put it. So,
Ethan, as we said, was such an extraordinary young man, one of those light up the room type of people.
yep.
What would you want the world to know about him? Now they know his name. What do you want them to know about him?
Honestly, I think the world sees it in the photos. I mean, you know,
The world will see it in the photos, Stacy. I guarantee that. And I agree with you, Cats girl. I feel sad for Ethan. Whatever happened that night, I do feel sad for Ethan. Very sad.
become this just, look at him. We're looking at his pictures. He was just the greatest kid. Everybody loved him. He was warm. He was inclusive. He was the kid you wanted to hang out with, you know, anywhere he was. He would play any sport. He'd play any cribbage game.
Look how much older he looks in that picture with Xana.
I mean, he just was always game to participate in anything with a big smile and a warm heart. He was kind.
Well,
Yeah.
we can see where he gets a lot of those attributes from your family, a wonderful, supportive family. And I just have to show people you have the most beautiful new tattoo on your arm. Can we show it? It's his handwriting. I love you, Mom. Ethan. It's beautiful.
It's from McCarty.
From McCarty gave you. Yeah. Stacy, thank you so much. Highly encourage.
Okay, so here is that link if you want to go and watch it or share it. There is the link of the video for you. And there is an article that I want to show you real quick, and I'll give you that link too. In this article, it was said that, here is the link. It was on NBC News to the article, the video, and the link. This is the Chapins speaking. We have got to control the narrative when it comes to Ethan, Stacy Chapin said. This is our version of Ethan, who was incredible. We set out consciously to make sure that was our story of Ethan. So not only did they not go to the victims panel and give their statements in the court, what other things can you think of that did not include Ethan? The memorial, court, the back of the Gonzalez family car that I talked about a couple weeks ago. It said Idaho 4, but it only listed Maddie, Kaylee, and Xana. It didn't list Ethan's name. No obituary. That's true. In the court documents, was he assigned a advocate? I don't remember. I know some people were not assigned the advocate. And this is the actual article. Let me take this one down. This is the actual article on NBC News. There is a video in here real quick that we'll watch too. And then I'm going to give you the actual proof that Ethan, you know what? Let me just give this to you because you guys are just going to, this is public information. This is public information. How old is Ethan Chapin? 27 years old, born in August of 1998. Where did Ethan live? He lived in Pullman, Washington. He lived in Pullman, Washington. He is related to all these Chapins. I have already done their genealogy. This is Ethan. Here is his address. I have blocked it out. He lived in Pullman. How do I know he lived in Pullman? The University of Idaho, right here, shows us the off-campus housing. Nobody knew where he lived because he lived in frickin' Pullman, people. There's your fireball. There's your fireball. There's your fireball. Now, Pullman, right here, if you hit more info, these are all the places that are listed for rent within the U of I community. These are places that they rent. This apartment is where Ethan actually lived, right here in Pullman. This is his address. It's all public record, folks. You can go and look it up for yourself. This is the only way that I put two and two together with looking at pictures of Ethan, looking at younger pictures, sibling pictures. He was not a triplet. Maisie and Hunter were twins. Ethan is not a twin. If you have kids, you know that you know that you know. This is where Ethan lived. All right? Now, for all of you saying there's another Ethan Chapin from that area that dies around the same time, no. Unless you have the proof, show me, because I'm going to show you the proof that Ethan Chapin is living in another state. Yes, he is living in another state. Now, I'm not going to give you his address. There's a reason that they have shown him that here, this is his address in Pullman. I can't give you the exact address, but this is the address. No one's ever going to find him living in Moscow, Idaho, because he didn't. And that is what I was trying to tell everyone all along. Don't believe everything you see. They were trying to control the narrative when it came to Ethan. The parents didn't attend court. They didn't include him in the memorial. He wasn't on the back of the car when they went to trial, or for sentencing day. Sorry, not trial. And this is factual. But he was attending the U of I. Yes. Okay? He was attending the U of I. Now, is he living in another state? Yes, he is. He is living in another state. This is all public information. You guys can go out there and Google it all you want. Anything I share is public information. The only reason I have blocked out the address is because I don't want to be accused of doxing somebody in connection with the Idaho 4. Okay? You can go out there and find it for yourself. It's all out there. And I just showed you how I came to that conclusion. How did I figure this out? I looked at all the rentals from the U of I that they have on their page. Okay, I went through, almost 90. I went through all of Moscow. When I didn't find Ethan there, I noticed that they offered housing in Pullman. And I went through all the Pullman rentals. And all I did was type Ethan Chapin, Pullman, Washington, and you will see the exact same thing that I saw. If you type in this address, it'll show you exactly what I saw, that Ethan Chapin lived at this address. Now, I'm not doxing anybody by sharing this information. I'm just telling you, he lived in Pullman. I went through all the Moscow and then I went through all the Pullman because he had to be attending physically. So wouldn't it make sense that, hey, I'm just going to stay with Xana and then walk across the school so I can keep an eye on Xana, when they said, oh no, he had his own apartment, but he lived there 6 days a week. 6 days a week. 6 days a week. It said his birthday was in August of 1998. Now I'm going to show you some pictures. And then I want you to type older or younger. Does Ethan look in this picture older or younger? Does he look like a triplet? Older or younger? Older or younger? There was one picture that really made me feel he was much older. And it was with Xana and him on the boat. Now, I don't know where I saw that, but let me go and find it. Even the younger pictures. All of his younger pictures. That one's private. You can go and search all the pictures. You can go and look at Ethan's pictures. It is wild when you start to see this one on the boat. Older or younger? Look how much younger Xana looks than Ethan. What are your thoughts? I'm always curious to see what you guys have to say. Let's watch this video real quick.
Do you feel Ethan's presence?
Shoot.
Everywhere in this house.
Hold on a minute.
He's going to get what's coming to him. I really don't care what happens to the guy. He's off the streets and he can't hurt any more kids.
Jim and Stacy Chapin say they can finally breathe again, knowing that Brian Koberger, the man who killed their son, his girlfriend Xana Kernodle, and her housemates, Kaylee Gonzalez and Madison Mogan, will spend the rest of his life behind bars.
Did you kill and murder Ethan Chapin, a human being?
Yes.
Koberger recently pled guilty in a deal that allowed him to avoid the death penalty and gave the parents the assurance he'll never be allowed to appeal. The Chapins spoke to NBC exclusively for the first time since that chilling confession.
Was that your first time seeing Brian Koberger in person?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
What was that like?
Honestly, I really didn't give it a thought because it doesn't matter. It's done.
It's just shocking. Yeah. The wreckage that is that person.
Their focus now, remembering Ethan. His parents and triplet siblings, Maisie and Hunter, reflect on his life in a new Amazon Prime documentary, One Night in Idaho.
Ethan was definitely like the leader. Like I would go to him and Hunter would go to him.
We were raised very centered around family. So we were friends with everyone, but we were best friends with each other.
The family remembers their best friend by holding on to things he loved. Ethan's Jeep still parked in the garage.
It was just so him. I mean, he even had the flag in the grill.
In what ways do you feel Ethan's presence?
Everywhere in this house.
Yeah. I mean, he just could just blow into any room and had something funny to say. We feel very fortunate to have had him for 20 years.
Is closure a word you could use to describe the plea deal for your family?
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Now we get to just move on.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's big time closure.
Liz Kreutz, NBC News.
Absolutely wild when I just showed you everything right there. Yeah, the family's not hiding it. They don't have a reason to hide. I mean, they don't even look like twins because if this is accurate, then Ethan is older. He's a few years older. I know it sounds odd. I know you guys don't want to believe this, but this is exactly why they were not in court. They did not give victim impact statements. They did not participate in a lot of the other families' things. And I understand not all twins look alike, but this picture, I mean, you can go and we can go and say Chapin family and start looking at all these images that have been public about Ethan Chapin. Okay? Now let's just do an exercise. Let's just do an exercise. Younger, not just because he's taller. Look at face. The face is what gives it away. The behaviors. Talking about what they talk about, avoiding certain questions. Where was he when the triplets got their driver's license? He was at work. Okay? It's all going to start. And this is what if Ethan walked away or ran away? What if everything we thought we knew wasn't the full story? What if one of the four didn't die that night? Were they rushed to the hospital? Is this the individual that was rushed to the hospital? Because right now tonight, we're stepping into the possibility that most people won't even allow themselves to consider. What if Ethan survived and is living somewhere quiet, somewhere hidden, somewhere like Colorado? And what if the real question is just if? But why would that be hidden? Because here, you know, at Phoenix Talks, we don't just follow the story, guys. We question the story. So everyone says the case is closed. All 4 victims died inside that house. But that's the official narrative. Who confirmed it? And how? Who personally verified this? Do you trust all the documents and reports? And what if just one of the piece of the narrative was different? Because clearly, when interviewed, they said they had to control the narrative. They're the only family that did this. So if we say let's build an alternate scenario and we walk through the hypothetical, it's November 13th, something happens inside the house, chaos, confusion came, a commotion per Bethany and Dylan, and then darkness. What if Ethan wasn't immediately deceased? What if he was injured, unconscious, removed for the scene before anyone realized the full truth? Hunter, per Steve G, said Hunter tried to get into the room. Now ask yourself, would the public even know what happened? Or would it be buried in another investigation that was ongoing in another referenced case? Think about this. We're questioning the narrative. We're looking at pictures. Was there a witness protection scenario? Was there a critical witness value, which means he was the only person that could describe what really happened? Was it narrative control? He would be the only one to say, would revealing that someone survived completely change the case? Absolutely. But think about it. What if one victim, just one victim, survived? Just one. Now let's take it changes everything. Let's take it one step further. Public record shows Ethan living in Colorado. Let's just say this, let's break it down. Out of state, less attention, easy to relocate quietly, still enough for legal coordination, because I looked in all states around Idaho. I looked in Washington. I looked in every state until I got a hit. And that's what good work does. It doesn't assume, goes out and searches every single state. Okay? Every single state. All right? And the death certificates are still pending as of April 2025. All right? So here's the real kicker. If someone needed to disappear, would they stay in Idaho? Or would they go quietly to somewhere like Colorado where life could quietly continue? Would you do that? Yes or no? Do you think it's physically possible someone could survive a scene like we see in the photos? Because honestly, I went through the very first and second line of photos, guys. First and second line of photos. In this picture, yes, that is the Elantra with no sunroof and no fog lamps. I would have moved to China. I would have moved to China. I think the person in the light bulb was one of the perps. I do believe. I believe that too. They accidentally didn't redact it. What if that was someone that was after Madison and Kaylee was trying to protect her? Yep. Now, I had to go through the photos once again to see if my mind was playing tricks, and it wasn't. This is the mattress, alleged, one mattress, and this is the evidence on both sides of here. There is, it looks like the other mattress they removed on the other side of the shed. Looks like another mattress. So that would be two mattresses. Two mattresses. But I started looking at these mattresses, folks, not only just to see what stains were on them. There's one that shows a really good pattern right here. And I just got to give you a trigger warning. And I went and matched the photos with the ISB guys that were moving them. You know, the trucks and everything. The pickup trucks. There were two pickup trucks outside moving mattresses. Okay. I had to go back and I had to look at 80, 90 pictures to get the best angle. And I've got those pictures downloaded. But let's do a live dig real quick and let's see. Let me grab these photos. And I want you to see a few things. Setting scene, not sure, too redacted. This MPD evidence garbage looks ghetto. Hey, Phoenix, that black Charger in front of the first night did not have law enforcement plate on it. All right, you guys swipe down, hit the thumbs up before I continue because you're going to want to hear this. It looked like they were producing a movie, I shit you not, the metal one, wrapped in green. Okay, well, I've got all the photos from the crime scene that ISP has released. I've got the 4 that they deleted, number 4. And let me grab a few things, and then you'll start to put it together. So I've got batch 2, and I've got batch 4, and I've got batch right here. This is the one. All right, hold on one second. This was mostly over there. All right. This had to have been Xana's from batch 2. Let me throw this up here. Okay, let's look here. Yep, this is batch 2. All right. And then on the side of the Ford, they didn't have any pictures of this side where we were looking at some things, which we'll talk about later. But this was mostly Koberger's apartment, which it doesn't even really need to go. We don't even need to go through those because we know what happened there. These pictures were taken later. Remember, they removed the Jeep and the Ford EDRs, the emergency data recorders, because they kept asking about a crash or something of him involved in a crash. If you guys remember that one. And the mattresses that they were moving caught my eye because this picture right here is the one that sparked it for me. This is the mattress that's standing up across the way, and this is the mattress that was in, it had a metal frame. But see, Kaylee's mattress was the only large mattress in upstairs. The only thing that made sense was Maddie had a smaller bed than Xana. And I kept thinking, those are really small beds, guys. Do you agree those are small beds for people to spend the night on? Let me get a show of hands if you think that looked kind of odd for having a bed in there saying that Ethan stayed over a lot. Who was sleeping in the empty bed downstairs? Who slept in that empty bed that we know for a fact someone was in there? Someone was actually in that bedroom, using it and sleeping there. Was it to protect this house? Was somebody on duty 24/7? Obviously, I don't know who it was, but who was downstairs protecting Maddie and Xana? Maddie had a twin and Xana had a full. Interesting. So what mattresses are they moving out that were actually put in storage? Was it Maddie's and Xana's? I don't know. I wasn't there. But you can go through all these pictures. It's crazy. There's tons of pictures that show them moving these mattresses out. Look at this big, huge mattress. And then this one, not wrapped in the green. This one, did they make 2 trips? Or I know they had 2 trucks. This is a good, questionable take on the mattresses. I mean, this was evidence and they moved them like this. No tags. Usually you have to put a tag on it or some type of evidence. And when you go back and you look at this photo of these 2 bags in the corner, I saw detectives carrying out these 2 bags right over here next to this mattress on to the left. That must have been the blankets that they wrapped up. So there was a, it looked like a MPD or a detective carrying out the bags that looked like were in those containers, in those other bags. And I found this interesting. This is another angle of the frame and the mattress that was removed. And I tried to match the frames in the bed frames and the mattresses with the rooms. And this was the only thing that I could find in regards to the mattresses that don't even look like the mattresses from the crime scene. Okay. So let me just grab those photos. And keep an open mind. What if Ethan is the one that survived? He is the 6'4" strong guy. He was adrenaline pumped with what they said he had in his systems. Okay? Think about this. Weird stuff in this case. I agree. Totally weird. Now, those 2 bags right here are factually in this evidence shed right here. Those are the 2 bags. I think they were comforters. Okay. Now, we can go back and we can look at all the pictures we want of the kids, the Chapin kids, right? I mean, there's plenty of pictures out there. I mean, even this one, you can see that Ethan is indeed older. I would have to argue, after having kids and knowing ages and what they look like and height and similarities, believe me, Ethan does look older in all of these pictures, not just one of these pictures, all of these pictures. Here's another picture that he does look much older. Look at the shape of the face, much older. Absolutely. But that would make sense why they never went to trial, why they moved on, and why she has distanced herself from all of this. Even this picture here. I mean, this should tell you right here. So hypothetically, what if Ethan was the one that escaped that night? He would be the only one that would be able to say what happened that night. He would be the only one. This picture right here, he is older, taller. I mean, not just taller, guys. Not just taller. He looks older. His features, his face, 100%. They started putting them side by side, and then I started looking, and that's how I knew. And this is the picture that sealed the deal for me. This is the picture. This family picture that they took together. That is the one that sealed the deal. Look at how much older Ethan is to Maisie and Hunter. Hey, Dana, you can disagree all you want. Why is this public information that Ethan is 27, born in August, related to all these Chapins? The genealogy is there. He lived in Pullman, and now he's in Colorado. Why would it be out there? I showed you how I came to this conclusion. I showed you all the rentals from the University of Idaho. Ethan was living in Pullman, very clearly. Public record. You guys can go out there and search for yourself. Even the University of Idaho recommended off-base housing right here in this area in Pullman. Right there. He didn't live across the gas station from 67. Stacy did say she raised him, which is very odd to say. Definitely. I showed you that one. Odd. Very odd. Yeah, they have matching coats. This is the released public picture. I mean, just say, hypothetically, mistakes happen. Is it possible? Timeline shift, information gets delayed, facts solve, right? The first version of the story is not the final version of the story. This is the silence factor. People will try to silence you when you uncover something. Here's something that should make you think. If something didn't match the public narrative, would we hear about it? Would you hear about it? Would you have to go to YouTube and some individual, some independent creator is telling you? Or would you go to some big creator that tells you about the collective and come be part of this and part of that? And I mean, please think about it. It's just odd. What would change if Ethan had survived? The timeline changes, the witness changes, the entire prosecution strategy changes, and then most importantly, the story. And that's what we're really talking about tonight. Not just facts, but the story we were told to believe. That's the story we were told to believe. I mean, let's flip it. What argues against what I just told you? What argues against what I just told you? I just pointed out the massive facts. Official reports state all 4 passed, pending certificates, no public record of survival. Families have spoken publicly, and now ask yourself, would all of that need to be aligned if something was hidden? They talk elusively. Oh, Ethan's in the basement. And I thought, why would they put him in the basement? No, when they went to get their when the twins went to get their driver's license, Ethan was at work. What? Here it is. One question I want you to think after this stream ends. Do we know everything about that night? Or do we only know what we have been shown? Only what we've been shown. I'm not talking about fake names or the DoorDash or the guy on the deck anymore. I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about Molly McMichael. I'm talking about the real facts of this case. Drop one word in the chat. Which one are you leaning towards tonight? Trust or doubt? That's the question I want you to leave here with tonight. I want you to keep thinking, were we told everything about that night? The answer, for me, is obviously no. This isn't about creating stories. This is about asking questions that others are too uncomfortable to ask. Because truth does not fear questions, but narrative does. And here at Phoenix Talks, we don't chase comfort, guys. Remember, we are chasing clarity. We're chasing truth. We stay sharp. We stay questioning. And that's why we're here together, to find the truth. That's why we all show up in this community, to find the truth. I think I've given you plenty of information. Bewildered. Yeah, I would say bewildered is a great word. I mean, I was too. I thought, holy cow, am I looking at the right thing? Am I actually seeing what my eyes are telling me? You guys can all go search the internet now. You have to go and search yourself too. Double check me. Double check me, please. There were two guys named Ethan. Okay, let's go see. Ethan Chapin, 27 years old. Let's see. You say that there's somebody else that lives in around Moscow, Idaho, around the time that he was killed. Is that what they were saying in the chat? Was that just some troll or a member? Because I highly don't believe if you are a troll, then you're obviously not a member. I agree. I can't believe. I hear you. I hear you. I just can't get past that the Chapin parents would allow someone to live in prison their whole life. That's cruel. That is a great position. What if this case is even true? What in this case is even true? That's what's happening. Yeah, I told you from the beginning, Tyler Robinson was one of these cases. I'm telling you, I can spot him a mile away. Now they're saying the bullets don't even match. It's crazy. I talked about the Kylie Rodney, the Gypsy Rose. I talked about all these cases. It's wild. Why would they say with all the drugs in his system, is it possible he had a breakdown? Well, if he had all those drugs in his system, he would have full of adrenaline. Yeah. It's wild. So I'm looking through the repository and I don't see anyone with the name of Ethan Chapin. In Moscow, older, 27. I see a Matthew Allison. Let me go and let me see if I can find somebody else who matches this. Oh, God, there's another picture. Holy cow, look at this picture. I just searched this, and this is what popped up under this picture. Holy crap. Hold on a minute. You know, I really like live digs, guys. I did not see this picture before I just found it. Hold on. This is a big red flag. That is a huge red flag. Wow. Yeah, he would be pumped up and full of adrenaline. Way pumped up. Let me see what else I find. There's another one. They went to somewhere. Hold on. Let me take this one out and add this one. I looked at all the major states around Idaho. I know triplets that look different too. So why would public record say that Ethan is 27 years old and he's lived in Colorado since August of 2025? Why would that be? This is public record. All those people in the genealogy are, in fact, relatives. Joe. They're there. And he was, in fact, living in Pullman, not in Moscow. That's why no one can find his address. He was at Pullman. And he does look much older than everyone else. He does. Factually. So you can take that to the bank. I'm sure I'll get some backlash for it, and I'm ready. It's out there. You guys can go Google it yourself now. It is factually out there. Is it misinformation? Well, then public record being is misinformation. He does look his age there. Absolutely. Why would they be hiding the fact? Did someone attack Ethan and he survived? Is that possible? Did Ethan walk away? Was he taken to the hospital? Very possible. And this was the most recent picture of Ethan around that time frame, right before this happened. He did shave. Let me put this one up here. Now, you don't have to believe me. You can go and research for yourself. Absolutely research for yourself. Definitely. All right. I won't give you the city, but you can go figure that out if you research. And now it makes sense to me why they kept him out of so much. Because he wasn't a victim. He was a victim, but he did survive, in my humble opinion, allegedly, with all the documentation I just showed you. And it makes sense, some of the interviews that his mom gave early on. Totally makes sense. And that they had a foundation for him. I mean, what are your thoughts? Drop them below. I want to hear what you guys think about this. I had a members only, and I gave them all the details before we came live. We can do a deep dive in person. The Chapins have rental property company too called EMH Properties, with 2 of them being in Sarasota, Florida. Interesting. Let's see. Let me play this real quick. This was one of the very first interviews.
And today, the first funeral is being held for one of those victims, Ethan Chapin. He was the only male victim, and he was Xana's boyfriend. Both of them were killed. Crime 2's Mark Hanrahan is joining us now with more about Ethan.
Whitney, Ethan had just turned 20 years old. He was just a couple of months into his freshman year at the University of Idaho, and his parents had just visited Ethan and his siblings the weekend before police say he was killed. In his obituary, it's quoted that Ethan loved life, laughed continuously, and that he was a kind friend to all. Ethan was the firstborn of triplets and attended the University of Idaho with both his brother and his sister. Ethan was also described as an avid golfer, surfer, and loved to play volleyball and pickleball. His funeral will be held in the same town he attended school, Mount Vernon, over on the west side. Today, Ethan's mom, with his brother and sister at her side, delivered an emotional statement. Take a listen.
So my name is Stacy Chapin. I thought I could do this. Today we're here to honor the life and legacy of our son and brother, Ethan Chapin, one of the most incredible people you'll ever know. Together, we want to extend gratitude to the following. Our neighbors in Mount Vernon and LaConner, Washington, and the local communities of Priest Lake and Moscow, Idaho, for their ongoing support and care. Our extended family and friends who serve as beacons of strength and remain by our side throughout every moment. The Moscow Police Department, who now carry the burden every day, not only for us, but for all of the impacted families. And the many strangers across the country, your outreach and kind words are profoundly
Ethan's parents said that Ethan was sleeping over at his girlfriend, Xana Kernodle's house the night that they were killed. They, like everyone else, just waiting for answers as to who killed their son and why.
And can you guys hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Okay. Drop a 1 if you can hear me. Okay. That was so weird. That was weird. I did find a voter record for Ethan Chapin in Colorado. Okay. And it says registration date was 11/05 of 2024. Active. It is actually active in Colorado. And it says he used to live in Benton City, Washington with Joe. I mean, I'll show you that one. I just found live. I mean, I don't want to show the whole thing because it's going to give you an address, but I'll show you what I found live. You guys can go check this out for yourself. I mean, I don't have to try to prove to you. It's all public record. You guys can go and look. This is freaking weird. It gives everybody they're related to. He lived in Pullman. Here's another one. A whole full report. It's all public information, folks. It's all public. All you have to do is type it in the little thing. That's public information, guys. I mean, people, y'all look the other way. You're told something, just believe the narrative, and then let's move on. This is all public information. It's terrible. Someone has got to do something about this. I have contacted representatives to have meetings about stories like this in the news. Someone should have some checks and balances before these stories like this ever go viral. Someone has to have some accountability. Someone needs to be held accountable. Okay? I've showed all the proof. You guys can go and look at it for yourself. Okay? There is the proof. You can type it in. You can go look. Pullman, Washington. This is what they're trying to do. Control the narrative. There's Ethan. There's Ethan with his address in Pullman in Washington in relation to all of the family. Okay? If you believe, great. Can we now finally get to the truth of what happened to these beautiful girls? And if Brian Koberger is guilty, show me how he's guilty. And we'll lay this to rest. But until we find truth, we're going to keep on talking about it. We're going to keep on talking about it. Because someone just posted this 4 minutes ago that I've been watching. Okay? They put a little meme out there. They've made this meme just for me. And this is how hateful it is because they know that I have gotten to some truth. That is what we're here for. They were hired allegedly to share misinformation, to get people to look on the other side of whatever. And I'm just telling you, they just put this out 4 minutes ago. 4 minutes ago. Don't believe me is what I'm going to tell you. Don't believe me. Go research for yourself. I've given you everything. Everything. I gave you everything. Yes, his phone is showing active. Don't believe me. Go look for yourself. Start Googling. Start researching before they start scrubbing. Because they will scrub. Believe me, that's what they do once they figure out we know. They will begin to scrub all this information. Take a picture. Take a picture, guys. Screenshot this. Screenshot it. This is the story that they have to control the narrative when it comes to Ethan. Okay? They're mad because I'm on to it. Well, if Kohberger is factually guilty, then show us. Show us. Show us he's guilty in a forensic document. When we have the prosecuting attorney go into a hearing and says, no, he was not stalking. When we have the ISP and the MPD say, no, there was no connection. Okay, look up. Sure, let's do a live dig. If you have any requests right now, let's do it. Let's do it. Just like I showed you today, if you haven't seen it yet, early this morning, I put up a video based on something last week. Okay? What did I say last week? I said in the forensic document that the knife sheath was -5 inches. -5 inches. That would fit a short blade K-bar. Short blade used for chef, for cutting. It's a short blade. And I gave you the exact proof, guys. This is a short blade K-bar knife. K-bar, short blade, UMC, right there. -5 deep. 5 inches. 5 inches. That's what you're looking at. A mini K-bar. You're not looking at some yielding machete. You're not looking at a big heavy blade. This is good for food prep, detailed cutting, less fatigue. That is what we're looking at. Forensic documents with proof. And someone said, oh, it wasn't. Well, there's the actual proof. You know I want to discredit that person because that person is hired, allegedly, narrative pushing. Okay? It's just wild. Absolutely blows my mind. And that would explain the separate investigation that I showed you. Absolutely. Yes, that's directly to me. They put it on their page. You know exactly who I'm talking about, guys. It's not a secret. They even make memes and talk bad about attorneys. It's crazy. That is what they put up right here. I'm not afraid to show it. They're idiots. This is Phoenix. This is what your brain after watching Phoenix. That's all they could say? Really? Is that all they can say? That's as good as content they can come up with because they can't prove me wrong. And the blood, yep, and the blood on the glove. Somebody got cut. Somebody got cut. It's about time the truth comes out. Somebody's got to either give us the proof that Kohberger did this or throw this out because, you know, the media is starting to say it was 2 people. Now they're going to come up and say, oh, the other person was Jack Showalter allegedly or Connor Chestnut allegedly because those are the only other 2 on the reports. Okay? All right? That's all they can talk about. Oh, she's got bad eyebrows and she's misreading information and she can't comprehend. They said that about somebody else too. They said that about Amber Vance. Can you believe the nerve of this person saying that Amber Vance can't comprehend? That girl is, I mean, even though they took some of my information, I know for sure. Once I put it out there, it becomes everybody. So I really don't care at this point. Just more people need to know. More people need to know this. So do me a favor. Hype this if you can. Like it. Share it. More people need to see this. And I want to know, and I want to see the creators who are not afraid to share what I found, to double check for themselves, share what I found. Now, there's one thing I want to do. I know that many of you have stayed here because I always give you the details. Always. I will never steer you wrong. If I make a mistake, I correct my mistake. But I want to go in, and I posed this question a few days ago when listening to, I believe it was Conrad Harrison's video. Shout out to Connor. Connor's amazing. He's got a repository of videos.
Okay.
Did anyone catch the point that Conrad Harrison made. I'm going to turn closed captions on, and I'm going to run forward to where the detective asked him a question. Ethan was loved by everyone, so I don't understand why they would attack Ethan if he was attacked. All right. Let me go back to, I think it was Conrad.
But yeah, I mean, he just kind of go on it to be lazy and waste time, and we just do that pretty often.
Did he have a lot of followers?
Not sure.
Did you engage in that also? Were you like Snapchat and Instagram friends and all that?
Yeah, friends on Snapchat and Instagram. That's how I would text him. It's rare that I would use just my phone app to text people. I just don't have as many phone numbers. I usually just get Snapchats. And so, yeah, that's how we would communicate. I would be on Snapchat, and then we didn't really communicate on Instagram at all, though. I just followed him and, would see what he posts. And then I don't have TikTok, but
that's good because it's a big time waster.
Oh yeah, I know. That's the reason I refuse to get it, because I know if I do, I'll just sit on it for 3 hours straight.
Where did he eat?
Like just normally, dinner, just at the apartment.
You go get groceries, bring them back, and you guys just have your own little bed areas, and he make his own food there.
Because we don't have a chef. I'm sure you knew that. But yeah, he would just get stuff and eat at the house. He usually just ate a lot of mini corn dogs and Diet Coke. He didn't have the best diet, but
okay. The way he spent his time, as far as you know, in the last few months, where he's coming over to the house, I understand he goes down to apartment 10, plays games with Kyle a lot, goes over, stays at Xana's a lot, goes to class, I suppose, sometimes.
Yeah.
Any changes in that behavior from him on his daily routine that you've noticed?
No, I mean, I think he actually had gotten better about going to class this most recent semester.
Right.
So that would be the only change from what it was before of him not going to class, but he would still come over, text me, say, hey, can you give me a ride to so-and-so class that's on the other side of campus, because he didn't want to walk, and so I'd give him a ride and then pick him back up.
Why didn't he use his own cars?
I think a lot of the time, I'm not 100% sure, but I think a lot of the time it was like someone had blocked him in. Because he used to park at Xana's, and there was like 4 or 5 different cars there. And every once in a while when I would drive by, I'd see his Jeep blocked in. So
makes sense.
I just assumed that was the reason. I didn't really ask, but there was also like no parking at the area where he was going, so he wouldn't really be able to leave his car anywhere if he did, because it was a class where I forget what class it was, but they would like meet at areas like the industrial building around campus, and then they would like walk to like an agricultural field or like someplace like Wazoo or something, or bus there or something. So he wouldn't be able to really like leave his car anywhere because he didn't have a parking pass. So I assume that's why he had me give him rides. But yeah, I mean, after that he would come back into the same thing. He'd get on, start gaming for a bit, then make some food, get up, start drinking, go hang out with Xana, come back here, hang out with the guys.
Okay. What things? Where were you when you heard this had happened?
I was at the Whites.
Whose apartment is that?
It's who's a Sigma Chi, who's a Sigma Chi, and Grandma Matt, who's a Pi Phi.
Who are the 2 Sigma Chi's?
And they're both seniors, and I've known them for, I've known Chris, and then I met up here.
Okay. And who told you? Who is?
He's also a Sigma Chi.
Is it older brother? Or, no, this is David Berriage. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Not Elgoraga. He's a Sigma Chi.
Did you guys hear that? Did you guys hear what the detective just said? Did you hear the name he said?
Things. Where were you when you heard this had happened?
I was at the Whites.
Whose apartment is that?
It's who's a Sigma Chi, who's a Sigma Chi, and Granley Matt, who's a Pi Phi.
Who are the two Sigma Chi's?
And they're both seniors, and I've known them for, I've known Chris, and then I met up here.
Okay. And who told you? Who is?
He's also a Sigma Chi.
Is it older brother? Or, no, this is David Berriage. Oh.
He just said David. He just said David Berrichoa. Now, this guy doesn't even look like he's 20-something. This guy does not look 20-something. And I'd agree with you. He's a little shifty. Yeah, David B. was mentioned.
Not Elgoraga. He's a...
Not in Gloria.
How did he find out about it?
I can't remember exactly how he found out. I think it was an extension of being friends with him.
You can get along with David?
Yeah, I did.
So, when you found out about it, what did you think? What was your reaction?
Well, at first I didn't believe it because, well, to give a little background, I had originally heard, we were just watching football. It was football Sunday. We were just over there watching football. And I had seen the message that said they're investigating a homicide on King Street. And I assumed one person at first. And then I saw that it was, or heard that it was more people. And then I started texting people to see if they're okay. I texted Ethan and Xana. And then, because I knew that they were, obviously Xana lived there, Ethan was there a lot, and I was there a lot too. And then I found out that it was 4 people. And originally I'd assumed it was some sort of like freak accident, like Adele got drunk, belligerent, and, got in an altercation, someone smashed a bottle on their head, and, somehow they just died or something like that, right, is what I thought. Right. And then came in and he was like, "Did you hear what happened?" And I was like, "Yeah, 4 people, like, it's just crazy." And he goes, "No, Ethan and Xana." And then I just kind of didn't really know what to say. I just kind of sat there for a while. And then it kind of really hit me when I had to call my mom and tell her. And then when I had to call and tell them as well. Is another Sigma Chi who's in my PC, and was the one I mentioned earlier, who was really good friends with Ethan.
He thought it was adult.
Live up here right now, so that's why.
So after you understood the full facts that these 4 in that location had been murdered with a knife, what did you think? Who did you think did it? What do you think the motive was, the circumstances were?
I really don't have any idea. There's not a single person who I could peg as wanting to hurt Ethan or Xana. Obviously, I didn't know the other 2 very well. And yeah, I heard that it was a targeted attack. Obviously, I'm not going to ask you questions about the thing, but I wouldn't have assumed it was targeted towards Ethan. My assumption is that he was just collateral being there, and especially being as big of a man as he is, he's a threat, whether he has a weapon or not. So that's kind of what I assumed.
Whether he has a weapon or not. How did he know if Ethan had a weapon or not? Don't you think that's just a little odd for somebody to say that?
Wasn't.
How did he know that Ethan may have not had a weapon?
A person who I could peg as wanting to hurt Ethan or Xana. Obviously, I didn't know the other two very well. And yeah, I heard that it was a targeted attack. Obviously, I'm not going to ask you questions about the thing, but I wouldn't have assumed it was targeted towards Ethan. My assumption is that.
Why would he know who it was targeted at?
He was just collateral.
How would he know all this?
Being there, and especially being as big of a man as he is, he's a threat, whether he has a weapon or not. So that's kind of what I assumed with that he wasn't, intended to be killed, but obviously I don't know the case.
I think Ethan survived. I think he survived. That is the other case that's open, that's still being pending investigated. And this guy knows exactly what happened. That's my humble opinion, allegedly. I'm going to stick with that until someone says, oh, no, point me over here. Y'all can point me wherever you want. I don't listen to anyone except for what I've already said that I listen to.
And I'm only working off of just the information I've heard.
Oh, where did he hear this information? Okay, Conrad Harrison, where did you hear this information? That Ethan didn't have? Oh.
But, yeah.
Yes,
it
Dina.
Still doesn't make sense to me.
So of the circles of friends that Ethan was, so big circle up here, the Greek system, the university at large, versus...
Christine, that's alleged. It's alleged it's either Showalter Conrad, Showalter, Chestnut, Ethan is mentioned in that other report on that other cross-reference investigation. Someone said Cole Beringberger. I don't know if that's correct. I don't know. But on the inside of the K-bar knife blade that I talked about the other day, there were three DNAs that were found on the outside of that sheath, and only one was said to be male.
Some random stranger. Do you think that it's somebody in the Greek system? Do you think it's somebody outside the Greek system?
I think it would have to be someone inside the Greek system.
Why?
This is also going on a bit of conjecture because I don't know.
That's what I'm asking. I'm asking you to speculate right now, so speculate away.
Just thinking in my own mind, their front door had a code and would lock if it was closed. So someone would have either had to be there enough to know the code. Granted, there was also the back sliding glass door, which isn't probably much of an issue to break into, but I don't know where they did break into, or if they did break in at all. So they would either have had to know the code, which was not something they shared often. I didn't even know the code, and I was there a lot. So they would either have to know the code, or if they didn't know the code and didn't break in, then they would have to be someone that was there often enough for it to not seem weird, because I mean they would have big parties there where I would see people that I didn't know, but if there was just some random stranger there that no one knew, like, it would raise some red flags. Someone would be like, hey, who's this guy over here or something, or who's this person, and someone would probably go talk to them and be like, hey, what are you doing here? No one knows you here, something like that. So if they were there and had been there while people were there, I assume it had to be someone that they knew. obviously I don't know. And then obviously there's a chance that they, broke in through the back door or were hiding. So in that case, that doesn't really help. But
do you know if it was common to make sure that the slider was shut and locked before they went to bed? Or was security really a concern for them over there?
I feel like it was probably not that common of a thing, just knowing them, I think. I mean, oftentimes when they came back to the house, they were drunk, because it was usually after a party or something, or whatever. Excuse me. Or
this isn't something you worry about in Moscow, Idaho.
Exactly. Yeah. And
I don't think we ever locked our doors to our apartments.
I
think we went home for a break and didn't lock the doors. We're always open.
No, same. I mean, I leave my car unlocked up here with the keys in the ignition, or at least I used to. And I never had an issue, so I don't think it was ever something they really thought of. I mean, both Ethan and Xana were very happy people, but a little kind of, what's the word? Thick in the head at times, but.
Okay, the night before, were you at the Sigma Chi party?
I was.
And what do you remember about the party?
I actually wasn't in the legitimate lodge for the party for that long. I was in Pete's room for a while, and that's actually where Ethan was originally.
Which room?
It would have been room, I think,
the upper left.
Yeah.
Double.
Mm-hmm.
I lived there too.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Why did he just whisper, I went there too? Did he just tell him that he's actually... Hold on a minute. Did you guys hear that?
Okay, the night before, were you at the Sigma Chi party?
I was.
And what do you remember about the party?
I actually wasn't in the legitimate lodge.
That's a great question, Shellbell. If he was at the Whites, why didn't they ask him about the blood that was there? Yes, what did he whisper? You heard it, right? Let's listen again.
For the party for that long. I was in Pete's room for a while, and that's actually where
So he was in Pete's room for a while, and that's where Ethan was.
Ethan was originally.
Which room?
It would have been room, I think,
the upper left.
Yeah.
Double.
Mm-hmm.
I live there too. That's what he whispered to him. I lived there too. Holy freaking moly. Who did this interview?
Oh, you did? So, yeah, I was in there for a bit, and it was just me, some of the G5s, and then Ethan and Xana came in. I remember Xana coming over to me. She gave me a hug, seemed super happy.
About what time?
I think this was around 9, or 9:30. And then I saw Ethan. I remember saying hi, talking to him. I had pink lemonade brunettes, which was Ethan's go-to.
This guy remembers every single detail.
For a drink. So I remember offering him
what is it?
Pink lemonade brunettes.
What is that?
It's just a flavor of brunettes vodka. Yeah. And it was his favorite because it was like $15.
Where did he get that at?
He would just get it from other people.
Just somebody that was 21 in the house that could go buy liquor?
Yeah, someone or another friend in another house. It didn't really matter.
Yeah, look at this guy's Venmo transaction and you'll see who was buying all the alcohol for the frats. You'll be able to see it. I already looked him up.
He'd just text someone and say, hey, you going on an alk run? And they'd say, yeah, what do you want?
Okay.
And he'd get it.
Okay. And what was the drink?
Pink lemonade brunettes. Pink lemonade flavored brunettes.
Was Xana 21?
No.
No, and they knew she wasn't. So why did they let these kids drink? Pink lemonade. Is that what he called it? Brunettes. What's a flavor? Vodka. Burnett's vodka. Yeah. Okay, so that's what it is. It's just a pink lemonade brunette. Burnett's, not brunette. Because if you type in pink lemonade brunette, this is what you get. Some girl who was brunette went pink. This is what you get. Oh my gosh, I must be exhausted, tired, y'all. Okay, so let's listen to the rest of this, and I'll probably do a live tomorrow, and we'll review the others because I found some really good information out of the other ones that are going to blow your mind. Pink lemonade vodka.
No. I believe Xana was 20.
So if he was drinking a pink lemonade brunettes there, does that mean that he brought it there? Or could that have been somebody else's?
If he was drinking pink lemonade at Sigma Chi?
Yeah, you said that night that he was drinking a pink lemonade brunettes.
Oh, that
Absolutely. I agree with this comment, Shelbel. I agree. They know what they're doing because they're always saying, go look over there. Don't look here. But this guy's saying, I know it's one of these guys. There'd be many advantages to the condo in Colorado. Oh, you found it under Ethan's name if deceased, tax evasion, hiding assets, possibly a divorce, criminal activity. Very true, Sarah. You are spot on. I'm glad you went and looked for yourself.
It was mine.
That was yours?
Yes.
You brought that alcohol?
Yes.
Okay.
For myself. That was my own alcohol for them.
That was his own alcohol. He brought it but gave Ethan some. Is that what he's saying?
That I had had.
Oh, okay. And did Ethan, is that also what Ethan drank?
Yeah, it is what Ethan, the same kind of alcohol that Ethan drank. And I think he had a sip of mine that night. But that was just his
Had a
go-to
sip?
drink, and that's why I offered it to him, because I hadn't seen him that day before. So I was like, hey, do you want a shot?
Sure.
Kind of thing.
Okay, got it. I was just trying to figure out if he'd gone to the liquor store.
No.
Oh, no.
No, they brought it to him.
And then from there, I remember talking to him. He said, hey, you got to try this new flavor, strawberry banana. And I was like, that sounds terrible. And then I remember making fun of his jersey because he was wearing a Steelers jersey because it was Santa's, and he's a Seahawks fan. And I was like, why are you wearing a Steelers jersey? You're a Hawks fan. And he was like, I know it sucks, but it's whatever. I didn't have one, so.
It was
a jersey party.
A jersey party.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And then after that.
Wait a minute. When was the jersey party, you guys? He's talking about the day before, isn't he? Yeah, where's theirs? Wasn't he talking about, I'll have to go back and listen to this. I don't want to go listen to it all over again, but I thought he was talking about the day before.
In there for a little bit, all hung out for a little while before the party, and then I think him and Xana. Oh no! I left. I left the apartment after that and went back to my apartment, and then went into the party. For a little bit. Apartment.
Okay.
And then after that, I was in the party for a little bit. Came back to my apartment. I was kind of just going in and out the whole night.
There used to be a great Pink Floyd mural on the wall.
Really?
Downstairs. It was really intricate. Nobody wanted to paint over it because it was so cool, but it had been there for like 10 years.
Uh-huh.
Finally got painted over it.
Yeah, it's not there anymore, sadly. I wish it was, though. But then, yeah, some girls came into my apartment as the party started kind of dying down because I think we ended the party at 1 o'clock. We normally end them at 2, but for some, I think there was a Idaho bound or something. Your campus was dry for some reason, and so I actually don't even really know how the university let us throw.
What is he talking about? What is he talking about? Bethany's, there's a Steeler jersey on Bethany's room, inside Bethany's room, guys. Holy shit. There is a Steelers jersey, and I'll bring up the photo. There is a Steelers jersey in Bethany's room on the chair, or on the floor. Hold on, I'll pull it up. And I thought it was weird. It was in the chair. Hold on, let me pull this picture. Right here. Whether it's Xana's. Let me pull this over. See it? That Steelers jersey is in Bethany's room. Are those Ethan's shoes or are those Bethany's shoes? On the floor there. Shoot, hold on a minute. Whose shoes are those? Those are way too big to be girls. There's the Steelers jersey right there on the chair, guys. See it? There's the Steelers jersey. So Xana and Ethan had Steelers jerseys on. Whose shoes are those? Whose sweatshirt? Maybe those are Bethany shoes. They have a blue back. But the Steelers jersey is in that room. Keystone Light is in that room. We know who drinks Keystone Light. But that jersey is right there on that chair. Right there. I wonder, is Bethany... Yeah, I saw all those bras on the floor. Does Bethany have... Is she a Steelers fan? Let's go back to this guy. He's telling us about the jerseys.
Even wet houses can't throw wet events during dry campus, but for some reason they let us throw it. And then I think we shut it down at 1.
Because they knew what was going to happen at 2, right?
And then
alleged.
From there, we hung out in my apartment, just me and some other girls. And then we hung out there till about 2, I believe. And then we went over to their apartment at the Whites.
Whose apartment at the Whites?
The one I was mentioning earlier.
They were hanging out with you in.
Mm-hmm.
And then
the
after the night before.
And the night of the party, yeah.
Okay,
then,
so after the party, you hung out until when?
Until about 2 a.m., I believe. And then we all went over to their apartment, which was me, and then I think it was... I apologize if I don't have the best memory of this. I had drank a lot that night.
Now he drinks a lot.
But then it was, I believe, as well. And then I can't remember if and were also there that night or not, or if I'm thinking about just another night because we went over there pretty often. But we hung out there for probably 2.5 more hours. I think I went home around 4:30 in the morning, and I walked back with, I believe, and then
How were they that night? How was there any problems?
Okay, so on Bethany's, you're asking me photo. This one? Isn't that a San Francisco? Hold on a minute. Let me look. Yeah, that's San Francisco. That's not a Steelers hat. That's a San Francisco hat. Okay, let's go back to this interview. He's almost done.
This White's apartment.
No, we were all just.
Did anybody leave? After you walked over there at about 2 with these guys, did any of them leave and come back?
No, none of the guys did. Some of the girls left, and I think that was around 3:30, I believe.
But none of the guys left.
Not that I know. If J and were there, they left earlier than me, but they just went back to the house.
Now, I don't remember this being in the ISP interview. I don't remember this being any of the files. And remember at the beginning of this, when they started releasing documents, I told you there are probably thousands of pages missing. And I firmly believe that there are thousands of pages missing. Don't forget that point. Because at some moment, sometime, you're going to be like, why did we never see this in the files? Okay? All right? Just keep that in mind.
But yeah, no one left and came back.
So we're trying to ID this car. You've probably seen the photos of the car.
The white one, yeah.
Do any of these people drive a car like that?
No, not that I know of. I don't think has a car up here. I don't think does either. And I drives like a white Ford Escape. And then I don't know what the girls drove.
And you don't know anybody around here that drives a car like this?
He's showing him a picture.
Okay, so you hung out until maybe 4:30, and then you walked back to your apartment?
Yeah. And then I just went to bed. And then that's when I woke up the next morning and then went over to watch football. So I went back to the house the next day. Or not the house, White's apartment.
Did you
back to the house?
Group of people at the White's apartments, maybe on the upper floor, like 50 or 60 people.
When?
Another party that same day you went.
Did you hear that?
No.
Or, I'm sorry, the day before. Oh. On Saturday.
Let me go back.
I don't think has a car up here. I don't think does either. And I drives like a white Ford Escape. And then I don't know what the girls drove.
And you don't know anybody around here that drives a car like this?
No, I don't.
Yeah, they both said that.
Okay, so you hung out until maybe 4:30, and then you walked back to your apartment?
Yeah. And then I just went to bed. And then that's when I woke up the next morning and then went over to watch football. So I went back to the house the next day. Or not the house, White's apartment.
Did you notice another big group of people at the White's apartments? Maybe on the upper floor, like 50 or 60 people.
When?
Another party that same day you went over to watch football?
No.
Or, I'm sorry, the day before. Oh. On Saturday.
And this was at night? Like when I went over during the day?
Yeah.
I wasn't out too much during the day. I think I was in my room doing homework, so I wasn't looking over at the lights or hanging out over there, so I don't know if that was happening.
Okay.
It's not something that is uncommon, though.
I'm going to show you a photograph of a knife. Does that look familiar to you? Have you ever seen anybody with that knife?
No, I have not.
It's got unique leather strips around the handles.
What did I just share with you this morning, guys? What did I share with you in my short? Unique leather straps around the handle. Look at this. That is a short K-bar, 5-inch per the documents. Right there, 5 deep knife sheet. So that is for a smaller knife. Wow. Interesting.
No rainbow.
Not that I know of.
Is there anything else we haven't talked about that you think that we should talk about?
I mean, not really. I can't really think of anything.
When you were walking home, when you were with the wife, you were walking home. Had you noticed anything or seen anything suspicious? Any cars driving around, or people walking around, or anything?
Everything just seemed normal. Yeah, I didn't notice anything out of the ordinary.
Okay. If you think of anything else, give me a ring. I sure appreciate you coming down. I'm going to stop the interview now at 6:26.
All right, so that was brought to you by Connor. You can go and visit and see his channel. I have not listened to these other 3 interviews because I literally was spending time with family. And one thing I will say is that I am so thankful for everyone showing up for this live stream. Now, keep in mind that we are speculating. We are talking about factual information that is on the internet that people can go and look and search for themselves. If you have any questions, let me know. Greatly appreciate it. And thank my mods, please. I am so thankful for all of you being here. Be well. See you tomorrow.
The whispers turned to echoes, and the echoes turned to lies.
They sold us easy comfort and a blindfold for our eye. Said to trust the hand it feeds you. Don't you dare to ask it why. But I hunger for the real thing.
Is a fire you can't deny.
Yeah, the ground is starting to shake now. Can you feel it in your bones? We will not be fools again. We will rise up from the dust, searching for the truth and justice.
1,000,000 strong and clear. The age of make-believe is over. The reckoning is here. We will not be fools. We will rise for justice and for truth. We will not be fools.
Brian is innocent. Brian has been essentially convicted in the media. He has a right to have this information withheld, brought out in public, so that people can see it's not this neat little package. So people can start to wonder if Brian's innocent. Your Honor, Brian is innocent. So if I talk about things that are in the affidavit, and if I talk about things that we're seeking that the state wants to hide, I think that's fair game for the public to hear.